Welcome to the Steelers Realm Podcast. And now, here are the boys of Steelers Realm.
Shout out to Andy Hart. Welcome, Steeler Nation. Another episode, Steelers Realm Podcast. Man, we are in the thick of things, and I'm happy to be with my boys tonight. My man Kitch, TA, and the Hijacker in with us tonight. And heard from Freight Train, man. He's going to be joining us here maybe next week or so. So I'm looking forward to getting the whole crew getting back together, getting the band back together for a night or two. But anyhow, man, we got more AFC North football to chat about tonight, too. So welcome, boys. How's everyone doing through the week? Get a little snow up here in Western PA.
Going good. What about you?
How about where you're at, TA? No snow down there, man.
No, not
JT,
really,
it's 61 degrees, man, and balmy, brother. I'm kind of thinking I might have to sit down here a little bit. You guys can send me a postcard. Let me know when the snow's gone.
Oh, dude, down there, that's freezing.
It is freezing down here.
That's freezing weather down there.
You got to see everybody walking around with coats on, man. I'm still in short sleeves.
Yeah, they just don't appreciate good weather like we do.
Nah, man, there's like 15-mile-per-hour wind gusts.
Yeah, I think 20 degrees is where my shorts cutoff is. 20 degrees and below, I'm going to wear some sweats or something. But, yeah, man, got a little bit of snow. Get some squalls tonight, a little bit of flurries, some wind, and stuff like that. How about up in that Happy Valley up there, dude? Did you get any snow?
Just some flurries.
Yeah. Well, we all made it through. We probably not going to get a lot of flurries in this coming game, so I'm looking forward.
I think it's supposed to be pretty nice Sunday.
Yeah. So see what Joe DiNardo drew up for the weather forecast for the game too. But as every pregame, ladies and gents, of course, Mean Green in the house, man. He is right on it, dude. Welcome back, buddy. Welcome back. But as normal, where to watch and listen to it. We got a home game coming up. Excited to hear about that. We'll get into by the numbers. Some interesting Browns, Steelers trivia numbers to get into. Also, the ambulance report. TA back to deliver it in person, too. Excited about that. And then we'll get into the matchups and kick it around. Our trenches, the air raid, the moon balls, head-to-head matchups. But, so anyhow, looking forward to jumping into it, boys. Just let's go around the horn real quick. General thought coming into this game. We got smacked around a good bit. Myles Garrett got to be the showcased defensive MVP type and whatnot, and the snowball up there and the lake effect snow in Cleveland. So, what's your take on this game? TA, since you got the distance on us, let you go first, man. Overall,
my take on this game, we can't fall into the same trap. That's all there is to it. I mean, we fell into the trap last time. We can't afford that twice.
Yeah.
Yep, hopefully we don't fall into that trap, man. Those trap games get us, man.
Well, I mean, it is kind of something that happens to Tomlin a little more than I'd like, but I don't think that's going to be the case this week. We're at home. The Browns just don't typically play well in Pittsburgh. We might got a little bit of a chip on our shoulder from the last, game, not even 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really that worried about this game.
Don't worry, we're fired up. We're gonna bounce back from week 12 where they beat us somehow, some way.
Well, really, when we beat us, but
yeah. But I think this one sits a little sour. I mean, they did kind of second half They made it back. They had opportunities, but that night Browns were the better team that night, and that was their Super Bowl. I don't mind saying that.
I mean, they were setting off fireworks in the snow over a
Yeah,
Thursday
it's
night win
big.
after they've basically already been eliminated.
Yeah, that's the biggest game of the year. That's when all the Browns fans circle. When you say TA, living over in that country.
Absolutely. I mean, and let's face it, though, guys. Over the course of the last 4 years, the Browns have really closed the gap between us and them in the rivalry. I mean, it's no longer a guaranteed win. We've split them, and hell, they've even swept us. And let's face it, they did knock us out of playoffs
Right.
a few years ago on Ben Swansong. With Pouncey.
Yeah, that was Pouncey's last game. Unfortunately, Ben's last game was that nightmare in Kansas City where our only touchdown in the first quarter was TJ and our defense was on the field for 12 minutes of the first 15.
Correct. So, I mean, but when you look at it, I think that this is probably the closest we've had in a rivalry with the Browns dating back to 1995 when they left for Baltimore. And the rivalry went with the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, it's going to be a good rivalry game. Tough divisional games. I hope we bring that nastiness.
Yeah, I mean, my take with everything coming back to Pittsburgh, I don't see the Browns winning this one. I don't see the Steelers getting swept by the Browns this year. I didn't see that. But you're right. It seems like they've had more success against us than Cincinnati or even the Ravens, over the last half a decade or so anyhow. But
no, and let's not forget too. I mean, Mike's got a great record in December. However, over the course of the last 5 years, guys, he's even. So he's got to get above 500 as far as I'm concerned at this present time and moment.
Yeah.
You mean against the Browns?
In general would be nice too.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying in the last 5 years, he's 12-12 in the month of December.
Oh, okay. I got you.
So, and you got to remember at one time, we actually had a great record in December. I mean, it's still not that bad, but the last 5 years hasn't been the greatest.
That's right. Didn't he unleash hell in December?
He did.
There's for a good while there where we are undefeated in December over a couple of years stretch.
And I think that was going back 5 years ago when we were like 27-1 going into the month of December, dating back to Tomlin in 2007. And like I said, the last 5 years, we've gone 12-12. And it's this stretch where we've even looked like heroes or zeros, but even heroes, we just really never had that feel of this team's going someplace.
Unfortunately, how it's been is if we have a really good start to the year, December is going to be a mess. If we have a really bad start to the year, we're going to just run the table in December. Really hoping that the trend doesn't continue.
Yeah. Or an undefeated preseason. We don't want that again, ever.
I don't even want to talk about that. Damn mittens.
Excuse me. Yeah, we don't say that person's name anymore. But
yeah.
Hey, man, good to be back home. 1:00. CBS carrying the game this week, and we've got the dream team: Jim Nantz, Tony Romo, Tracy Wolfson on the field, and then of course always. Man, I'm hearing more and more of him in the replays, but Rob King doing a great job as a Radio Steelers Network call, along with Craig and Max and Missy, the local guys. And then you can catch them on the Steelers Radio Network, even DVE in the Pittsburgh area, the flagship station for the Steelers. BGG 970 in Pittsburgh, and then WDAD Indiana County. So, but yeah, we were talking about earlier, weather 45 degrees and mostly cloudy. mostly cloudy skies, Joe would say. Um, we lead the series 81-64, and of course that one tie. And of course, we'll never forget the lake effect blizzard game, week 12. We dropped one to them, 12-19. But anyhow, exact opposite records, guys. We're at 9-3, number one in the division right now, and or the conference rather. Browns 3-9 after that loss to the Broncos, but they've been in a lot of these games and they played us hard. Uh, even in that, their Steelers are getting 6.5 with a 43.5 over under. So I don't know. What do you guys think of that?
Well, before we jump into that, I just got a quick question to ask you. Because at the end of the day, what's everybody thinking about Hard Knocks?
Oh, yes. I'm so glad you brought that up, man. We were just talking about it. Kitch hadn't had a chance to catch it yet. I sat there. Not only did I sit there and wait for it to come on, watch it live, but also recorded it in case I had to get up or whatever. But yeah, man, I freaking loved it. It was heavily slanted Steelers, I think, and I think everybody else would kind of think that.
As it should be.
Yeah, well, as it should be. But I think Tomlin's going to be the superstar in this. As much as he plays into the "I don't want to be here" and ripping off his microphone as soon as he gets behind closed doors and stuff like that, that's just going to play into it. So I really enjoyed. It's like a classic NFL films layout. Beginning of it, man, you can't help but get pumped up. What did you think, TA, since you brought it up? I don't want to steal all the thunder of it.
No, that's quite all right. I mean, I had a couple little mixed emotions going into it. I'm not going to lie. I really wanted to see the behind the scenes, how Tomlin conducts the meetings, how the practices go, get that day in the life of being a Pittsburgh Steeler. But then I thought to myself, there ain't no way this is going to happen.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to let us see what goes on inside the locker room. But what they did let us see was a feel good, as a fan, to see them reviewing the tape, man, of the Browns game, and then watching them reviewing the tape of the Steelers game. It was definitely slanted as a little feel good story. And you're right, JT, the beginning of the show, if you can't get pumped up with the history of the AFC North and the different footage that they showed, I mean, from old school to new school,
Yeah.
I mean,
that sack of Terry Bradshaw where they spiked him with on his head. I mean, from the classic up to the current stuff, man.
Even Sam Weiss yelling, "You don't live in Cleveland." I mean, those were all good AFC North memories, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
good stuff.
We're a colorful division. There is no doubt about it. And it's even going back to the AFC Central. I wouldn't mind even seeing a little bit of old school Oilers in there for a shot or two. But of course, that's not where we're at in today's age. But what I did like is when they sat down, JT, and they were talking, the coaches were talking and addressing them, and more so Tomlin during the week calling out Herbig, telling him that he's got to step up just like Hightower did, and he's got to go conquer Zeus. And then it shows the game time, and it shows him basically getting that strip sack and then turning around, strutting like a peacock up and down there, chuff all puffed out like I got it, Russ and everybody saying, "You called it, coach. You called it, coach." You could just feel the aura in this team is different than years past. There is a I don't even know what to call it right now, JT, but just to see it on film, yeah, some may want that cynical Hard Knocks, and the drama and this. I don't know. I'm too old for drama. I want to see the good stuff behind the team, and I want to see this team just flourish. That's my thought process. How's that?
No doubt. It'll be interesting watching them capture this week in and week out, though. How it progresses. One point I heard posed on that subject was, is it like, is it going to end up being the Ravens and Steelers in the end? Like as interesting,
As it should be.
well, as Cleveland and Cincinnati's chances at the
Mhm.
playoffs diminish,
Yeah,
and you know what I mean?
Cleveland's dead, and Cincy has like a 2% chance to make it. They're both dead. Let's not pretend here.
They're dead.
Yeah. So I'm sure when they planned this, they kind of weren't expecting that. As a matter of fact, I think they were probably expecting just about the opposite, and Pittsburgh being the dark horse in it all.
Well, yeah, let's be real. I mean, the whole reason they came up with this idea is twofold. A, they've been trying to get the Steelers on this show for the last 18 years, and Tomlin has said absolutely not getting on it.
No, it's just not the Steelers' way.
No. And then number two, they had a nice little spin saying, you know what, the AFC North had 4 teams in the playoffs last year. Why not? Let's see if it goes down to the battle and utilize the NFL schedule, which has definitely been set in nobody's favor in this division. If they were making a playoff run, to play all of our opponents at the end and put together some kind of chronicle, this almost seems like WWE to me. Thank you, NFL Network.
You think? I've been bitching about that for years, and then boom, they throw it all in there. The only thing missing is ramping up, postponing the Ravens game half a week later, and then adding another one onto it because of COVID. But other than that, it's pretty much back end loaded, no doubt. But hey, enjoying the ride so far, man. Did we think we were going to sweep again? However, we went 5-1 last year. So
Real possibility of doing that again.
Don't worry, we'll do it again this year.
yeah. So I mean, what do you guys think we need to lock up a playoff spot, at least a wild card spot?
Well, I think we will with a win, and I'm trying to think of who's ranked 8 in the AFC, because I think if they lose, we clinch.
Probably the Colts right now, maybe.
Yeah, I think it is.
I think it's the Colts.
And I mean, let's face it. If truth be told, the AFC is actually already sewn up. The only thing the NFL can do now to turn this into a drama for the last month of December is have the Broncos lose after a fantastic victory against the Browns and have them drop at least 2 more games because they have to play the Colts on their way out. And those Bronco fans are already griping, oh my God, the NFL flexed us. We now have to play a Thursday night game against the Chargers. We can't win on a Thursday. I was like, are you guys that pathetic?
Well, yes, but I was right about the clinching scenario with one exception. The Colts had a week 14 bye, so they can't play this week, so there's no possible clinching scenario this week.
Oh, okay.
Dang.
Yeah.
Hey, look, this is how desperate the NFL is. If you go ahead and look it up, they still have the Jets able to get into the playoffs at a 3-9 record.
It's just a joke, man.
I'm not laughing, hijacker.
Relax. We'll make it in the playoffs easily.
Well, just one more thing, Kitch, to put it on there. Watching that Bengals game, seeing that Burrow has set the NFL record as the only quarterback now to throw over 300 yards, score 30 points, 3 touchdowns, and still lose consecutive weeks in a row. And they're sitting at 4-8. They have the easiest schedule going out.
Well, I mean, even if they run the table, somebody's got to shit the bed pretty hard for them to make it at this point.
Well, let's face it. The Dolphins fit that bill. The
Dolphins are not even
fit
relevant
that bill.
right now.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but they're ahead of the Bengals. And let's face it, the Colts could go ahead and fit that bill. And the Broncos with the rookie quarterback, he might have looked good there in the middle, but he didn't look good in the beginning. And they don't have an easy out either.
I think they'll be able to do just enough to get that 7th spot. I think the spots are pretty well decided to this point. I mean, not necessarily like the actual seeding, but who all's going to be in? It's going to take in complete collapse. And yeah, if anybody does it, it probably would be the Broncos, but I just don't see it fully happening.
No, they need Sean Payton too big, too much. They need him to succeed.
Yeah, he's doing good with Bo Nix over there.
Mo Picks.
They call him Mo Nix is the fix.
There's not really a whole lot of clinching scenarios in the AFC this week.
No, because you
Hasn't
figure the
Buffalo
Chiefs and the
clinched
Bills
the
already
spot, though?
clinched.
Yeah.
Yeah, they both clinched the playoffs. The Bills clinched their division. The only clinching scenario for the AFC is the Chiefs win their division with a win. Against the
But wait,
Chargers.
there is another clinch. Speaking of clinches, there is another clinch. Tomlin clinched his 18th consecutive winning season.
Oh, I was worried
he
since
did.
it's Browns week. I'm like, don't tell me Deshaun Diddy Watson's coming back. That'll make everybody clinch.
Not that kind of clinch.
I will be excited about Tomlin clinching back-to-back winning seasons whenever he either A, gets the record, or B, finally wins a damn playoff game.
Hey, don't worry. We got 9
Been
wins.
too
We can pack it in for the season.
Yeah, we had 11 straight
How
wins
about-
to start
how
the
about-
2020 season and see where that got us.
How about a home playoff?
Or at that time, we were at the... Yeah, that would be nice. That's been even longer. I mean, hell.
Home playoff.
Yeah, last time we went rolling into the playoffs as like the 2 seed. We were like 13-3, Killer Bees in full swing. Fell asleep during the first quarter of the Jags game. We just down 21-0. Same thing with the Browns a few years later in 2020. It'd be really nice to win a home playoff game, or at least keep it close for the entire game. Geez, instead of getting blown out right out of the gate.
Remember the days when we just used to complain that we couldn't make it past the AFC Championship game under Cower power?
Oh,
Now we're just crying for a playoff win.
Yes. Take
yeah,
one.
we just want a single playoff win. That would be fantastic. Right direction. Obviously, it's not going to be enough for long, but it would be really nice.
All right. Well, hey, while we're talking numbers, let's do our by the numbers section. Finish. Am I reading this right? Wait, we need a little we need a little music for that. How about this? All right. Now let's get into some numbers. Am I reading this right? The last time Browns won a regular season game in Pittsburgh was 2003.
I don't believe that's right.
No?
That can't be. Haven't they swept us sometime in the past few years?
I believe so. I believe so. We're going to have
these-
here.
Are we on a fact check mission now?
Yeah, let's dig into something else.
Okay.
All right. TA, you got anything?
Absolutely, man. I have.
I know
all
you
this
always got
thing.
something up your sleeve.
Look, JPJ, 14, man. He has been called for 14 penalties, and 12 of those have come in the last 3 games. And right now, Tomlin does not seem worried about it at all. Matter of fact, he's not going to be outgooned. He wants JPJ to not live in his fears. He wants him to go out there and make things happen. Is everybody okay with this?
I mean, I would have preferred that in practice they gave him boxing gloves instead of receiver gloves.
Yeah.
So he can't grab people. Because, yeah, there were a couple of those calls that were absolutely horrible, but the refs have been horrible all around all year.
Oh,
Like-
say it's not so.
There were some, though, that were really bad and, like, were right to be called.
Yeah, some of them have been a little ticky-tacky for me.
Yeah, I like that he's a physical corner, but he sometimes he's a little too physical, and it gets him in trouble.
Well, I tell you what. JT,
Well, and they're watching it. They're watching for that too. And he's getting a reputation now, so it's going to be tough to beat it, unless you just don't do it and beat the guy positionally and go for the ball. You know.
So, just to go ahead and go ahead and fact check, I have found here that the Steelers have won 20 straight home regular season games against the Browns.
Oh, so we haven't been swept lately. I mean, not by the Browns anyway.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go.
And just to give you an idea, the last time the Browns won a regular season game in Pittsburgh, Tom Brady was a one-time Super Bowl champion. So that's dating back to 2001, if I'm not mistaken, because
Oh, wow.
that was when we should have went to the Super Bowl. But of course, we had the Twin Towers, and it kind of had that, we need that patriotic feel, and the infamous tuck rule and the birth of Tom Brady.
Wasn't that the game that we also, like, already had our bags pre-packed to go to the Super Bowl?
Absolutely. We had already made reservations. We were eating surf and turf. We were ready to rock and roll, baby.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the year we beat them earlier in the season?
Maybe.
Boy, now you're really testing my memory. I don't know if I can go back that far, JT.
I may be thinking another game, but anyhow, good stuff, man. Hey, I got one for you. And this guy, you know, Pitch and I were chatting today about this guy, but 86.5. That's how many career sacks, like Cam Hayward, and the most by a Steeler defensive lineman in franchise history, second most by an active defensive tackle, and also second most in franchise history. So my man's still delivering.
Oh, well, by the way, again, that actually reminds me, because when we were talking about this earlier, I just have to say, I believe I was the only one saying Cam could still do it back in preseason. Just saying.
Oh, whoa. I believe I went ahead and was happy about the signing when y'all thought it was too much money to give the old guy, and Frank Train was crying and saying, the weak spot is the defensive line, man. We should have never did that. Should have cut him, and we held on to him too long.
Hey, the whole time I was saying Cam needs to retire as Steeler. He's still great. Pay the man.
He was all freight train. We're going to blame him on this one.
I'm fine with that.
Well,
Sorry.
during these contract talks, I insisted that I was sure that the Steelers would sign him again. Wasn't so sure whether that was a good move or not, but it certainly did pay off. How about it, DJ? He was good on Cam, too. All righty. Anything else, man? We'll keep this show moving.
When we played the Browns last time, they were 29th in the league in rushing. Somehow they've gotten even worse with Chubb back, down to 30th.
How's that happen?
I mean, it could also be that Jameis is out here throwing touchdowns to, Jerry Jeudy, the other team, maybe occasionally a fan. The ball's just going everywhere, man.
And hey, let's also be honest too. Watching Chubb run, he doesn't have his sea legs underneath him right now.
Now, I don't know if he'll ever be the same, because he had an injury just as nasty as the one last year back in college, and he bounced back from it. But now that he's got more mileage on him, with how heavy the Browns rely on him, he's never going to be the same running back. They're going to be a committee with him and Jerome Ford until he leaves eventually.
Well, don't worry. They're right there in position to get a very high draft pack, whether it be their 826 quarterback in 2 years or another Chubb. But
Well, I would say that they're just going to add to the Browns QB graveyard. And poor Shader Sanders, they're going to trade up for him.
boy, there'd be nothing more than I'd like to see primetime son in our Browns uniform.
I would be even better if he like Eli'd his way out of it. Just like refused to play in the NFL unless he was traded.
Nope,
That's exactly
I'm not going
what's
there.
gonna happen.
I'm not going there.
Nope, not going to Cleveland. That's where dreams go to die.
He'd be like Deontay Johnson and say, "Nope, coach, get in there, Deontay." Nope, not
Nope.
going in.
Not today.
And since we brought that up, is this to anybody's surprise at this time that he is almost on his way out the door?
That does not surprise me at all. He'll probably be out of the league in a year or two.
So all I have to say is kudos to Tomlin and Con Man for getting rid of that final cancer out of the locker room.
Yeah, let's just hope that Pickens doesn't take a hit to the head because he's about one hit to the head away from being the next AB.
Well, I'll tell you what, after last week with Austin, he might be one step away from joining that category.
Oh, no, he's straight up going to join the CTE club after that.
Man,
He got cracked early in that game, and I thought he was concussed, and they put him back in only to get cracked again. And I'm like, oh, my God, you're going to turn this guy into Tua.
His brains are definitely mashed potatoes right now. But
Yeah.
before we go on to the ambulance port, I got one last thing.
Well,
I want to know, is anybody yet on the Russ bus? Because just to give you an idea, since he took over, besides only losing one game, he is sixth in points per game, 28.7, tied for first in completions of 20-plus yards at 30, first in yards completions at 13.2, tied for second in yards pass attempt at 8.6, which is only one below Josh Allen, I may add, and tied for ninth in EPA and dropback. Are we ready to jump on the Russ bus?
I've been warming up to it for a bit. I was a little bit salty after he lost to the Browns. But that was his only loss so far.
Yep, we're on the bus train. Let's go.
Let's keep it rolling.
Yeah, the only thing concerns me is just like this constant slow starts, except for Cincinnati. But let me ask you guys that since we brought that up. Is this offense turned the corner? As Austin opened up the pages to the playbook?
I hate to tell you, man, but I think Cincy's defense is just that bad.
And let's face it, one of the things that really helped out was the check down and Logan Wilson. Was it Logan Wilson or Logan third linebacker?
Yeah, Logan Wilson was out.
Yeah, he was out. And that just opened up that center of the field because I ain't never seen that center of the field that wide open against anybody we've played this year. I mean, they were almost daring us to run 20 yards a play.
Yeah, he was just missing. Invisible man in the linebacker core.
Yeah, I don't even remember who his backup was.
I think we're going to get a better true test this week. First of all, was the Browns better suited for that game that they played us just 2 weeks ago? Or did we just really, truly take them for granted? And here's what I would really like to see. If Russ is able to put up 40 points, I would like us to just come into Pittsburgh, put 40 on the board, let them walk out of there with 9 points, and go back to Cleveland, hanging on to their Super Bowl victory 2 weeks ago, and just go ahead and decimate any hope they may have had.
Just like we did in Cincinnati. Only we're going to do it on our turf this weekend.
Yep, let's put up 40 plus again.
It's going to be amusing if Cincinnati keeps their playoffs hopes alive just by continually winning until we play them again, just so we can crush it again. I can't wait. It's going to be so exciting.
It'll never get there. Never get.
Oh no, with that defense, I'm pretty sure anybody could hang 40 on Cincy.
Well, you know what? We got some players coming back. I'm excited to hear about the ambulance report. TA, why don't we move into that, man? I got something queued up right for you.
Woo, 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 woo.
TA's ambulance report.
That Moose girlfriend's pudding dessert has now been cleared by the FDA, which means that Najee Harris, after being arrested, was a full participant. Shouldn't have to worry about no banana peels on that boy. Of course, Calvin Austin at this present time and moment is still wondering if he will leave the Batcave this week. Why? Corey Trace has now been a full participant after sitting out and being on IR. Look for him to go ahead and be activated, as we have cut Jonathan Ward to make room for him. Alex Highsmith looks like he will be in the starting lineup. If that is the case, guys, we will have 4 healthy edge rushers. And the way Smith has contributed since being picked up from Green Bay, we already know Herbig was special and just waiting to break out. To know that we have a consistent rotation, Jameis Winston better be on his high horse, baby. Now, Montravius Adams, we still got 21 days. I don't expect to see him yet. Other than that, everything else was just vets taking a little time off to go ahead and feel better about themselves. Now, as far as the Cleveland Clowns go, right now, Joe Bittinoni, ankle. He's been dealing with that all year. He's going to play, no doubt about it in my mind. It's a secondary right now that's quite interesting to me because they've definitely taken a few hits. Greg Newsome, and we already know there's a battle royale waiting for that, has a little abdomen. Maybe, old JP got a shot up there in them ribs that we just don't know about. But Jerry Jeudy, a little bit of knee soreness. That's what happens when you go ahead and you catch 230-some yards on a Monday night. Elijah Moore, shoulder. That's what happens when you just go ahead and give up on a pass that gets intercepted and you let them score a pick 6 on you, baby. Now, Sam Kamara, little concussion. Don't expect him to see there. And a little Maurice Hurst, ankle, did not play. Other than that, Myles Harden, tibia, limited. I look for the Browns to be ready to come back out and want to smack us in the mouth. And boys and girls, that is TA's ambulance report for the afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. More from our host, JT. Take it away.
Good job. Thank you. As always, TA. Hey, great soundtrack behind you, dude, too, man.
Absolutely. It kind of got me a little pumped up.
Yeah, man.
Rock and roll.
I'm getting pumped too. So
I want to pump you up.
Time to pump you up. Website's still coming along, guys. So those of you who've been bouncing by it, we still had kind of redoing everything. So please bear with us. A bunch of gibberish out there, but at least it's SteelersRealm.com. So just wanted to throw that out there. Eventually, all our links will be back up there, as well as links to the most recent episode, all the videos, and all the audios right there on the homepage. So anyhow, man, let's get into we're kind of digging into it, but let's get back to Kitch. I'll let you tee this one up since this is your fave. Let's talk Jameis Winston.
I
Go ahead, man.
I am always excited to watch this guy play. Just because, especially when it's against us, because he never really has his good games against us. He's just like, I really hope we get to see peak Jameis. Like, just watch him completely implode. I mean, he was pretty close to doing, actually, he kind of did last week. But, I mean, dude, put up 497 yards, 4 TDs. Sounds like an incredible day. He really threw 6 TDs because he threw 2 to the Broncos.
Just wrong team.
Oh, please throw Minka a TD pass. Minka's been
Oh,
needing it for a while.
please.
Yeah, let's get
He
him
doesn't-
jumper out. Come on,
He
man.
doesn't know what a football is. He hasn't seen one for so long.
Jerry Jeudy probably just hit the peak of his career last week too with him at 235 against his old team. That's good, but I've watched this guy since he was a rookie. Congrats, dude. You just had your career game. Now you're going to go back to being nothing. I mean, he might be notable just
Okay.
because JPJ is going to get flagged on it.
You're good. Hang up the long cleats and put the short ones on. You're good.
Yeah.
Good, Holmes.
Going to end up as like one of those obscure ESPN analysts that like people don't realize played in the league.
Don't worry. He had his moment of time to shine with Jameis out there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with how I've seen Jeudy play, I'm surprised he didn't drop more of those. So kudos to him.
So we got our JPJ on him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Most of the action we're going to be seeing there, I guarantee, are just going to be PI calls.
Don't worry. We just got to hope the refs aren't calling penalties today.
Yeah, maybe they just like can forget their refs for a minute.
What's the over under on the DPI on JPJ?
I'm gonna go at least 2. So like
3.2.
3.2 on the over under.
I don't know. What do you think?
We'll go 2.5 because you're saying 3. I was saying 2.
I was gonna say
I'm
4.
going just under.
Nah, let's hope not. Let's hope it's 0. Let's hope it's 0.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know if I'm really too concerned about Jeudy. I mean, let's face it. Jeudy had an anomaly because he went back into Mile High and he wanted to make a point against his old team.
Sure.
You know, and
that's
that's
big games, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's just a revenge game, one-shot wonder stat line. That's not going to happen again.
Yeah, because he doesn't have that. You know, he's already going to be coming into this game. Hey, we beat the Steelers the first time.
Sure.
Oh, by the way, I just put up 200. And oh, by the way, we're going to make you our little bitch come Sunday anyways. This has got all the makings of really just smacking him down and welcoming him to the AFC North.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, when it also comes to the next guy up there, Njoku, that guy is a Joku, all right. A Joke-E. Because I have never seen somebody drop the ball in so many key moments in a career and still be on an NFL team.
But for another reason, he plays well against us.
Exactly.
We are like the only team he has been consistent against in his whole career, and it seems like he gets a TD every time he plays us.
So you're saying Njoku is only on this team for the Steelers?
I could see it. He's not really good any other time.
Yep.
I mean, dude, they were setting off fireworks after beating us after they had already, nearly been mathematically eliminated. And this is a regular season game. Like, yeah.
It's the Super Bowl, man.
It's their Super Bowl.
So, Kitch, what you're saying is like you really don't have much respect for Njoku until he plays us.
Yeah. Yeah, whenever he plays us, I'm legitimately concerned. Whenever he plays anybody else, I'm just like, oh, he's going to drop that. It's Deontay in tight end form.
Kitch, I gotta ask, Kitch, because I gotta be a Debbie Downer here, okay? I mean, what do you consider a good game against us? Because in all reality, he's only had 42 catches for 402 yards in 13 games against us. That's 10 yards a game and has scored 3 touchdowns. If that's him playing great against us, give that to me all day long.
Now, he always seems a way to find a way to pull them closer in one way or another. He just always seems to be there.
So he's a one-catch wonder.
Pretty much. He's good for one crucial one per game that ends up screwing us over.
That's what I mean. He'll make that crucial catch.
He will only make the crucial ones against us. We shut him down the rest of the game for the most part. or he'll get a couple catches in the flat, but
Or
like,
he'll drop them.
and if he drops them, then okay, that's just honestly kind of what he does. So
Okay.
I'm
I hope
saying
he's
good
dropping
for
a lot of
him.
passes.
He will play good for him against us. I mean, there's the rare game that he has a great stat line against a bad team, but we're not that team, so that's not going to happen.
Well, why don't we take a second to talk trenches too before we flip the field and talk about defense? But what about the trenches? I mean, how are they stacked up again this week? You know, what are we going to do? And I guess we can talk about that next. But I mean, you know, what are we going to do to get more pressure? Now, Highsmith is going to be back.
And he also was kind of teasing with how Herbig's been playing that he wants to see a 3 edge rusher package. I'm not sure where they're going to stick the third one, whether he'll be coming up the middle or the same edge as another guy. But could we potentially see a Herbig TJ stack on one side?
You know what? I was.
So
You know, it's funny you say that because I was thinking that myself. I'm like, with him back, and we're talking about how they've moved TJ around a little bit last week against Cincinnati. Could you see that again with like stacking the right side? What are they going to do then?
Don't worry, they'll start praying once they see the 3-headed monster.
Or they'll
coming.
just start, doing what everybody's been doing all year and straight up tackling TJ.
Yeah, yeah. Just wrap your arm around his neck and hold him.
Yeah, just put him in a headlock. You'll be fine.
So, I mean, you guys around the horn real quick. Are we going to be able to get more pressure?
Yeah, with Highsmith back, we should be able to get a lot more pressure.
It's amusing because their O-line's actually healthier than they were this last game, and like, I actually have a feeling we're going to get better pressure than we did against their backups a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
He ain't sitting back, man. I'm just waiting for his thoughts on.
I'm ready to hear it, man. I don't think it's going to be good.
Look, at the end of the day, we have 4 healthy edge rushers. We have 4 actually healthy inside linebackers. You want to talk about switching something up? Why not throw 2 down linemen and bring on at least Herbig, Highsmith, and Watt, and go ahead and throw in Queen and Wilson and just let them come after Jameson? I'd like to see that package.
That would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
that would be pretty exciting. It'd
that's
basically be like
speed.
a 4-2 nickel, but instead of a nickel, you have an extra edge rusher.
Don't worry, we're going to make sure Winston makes a little extra mistakes today.
He's going to be hurting. He's going to need to ice up after this one.
All righty. Well, let's talk defense. He wreaked havoc on us last game. It was in his home. He wasn't going to have the Steelers coming in, and with his arch rival and defensive MVP rival TJ Watt on the other side wasn't going to be denied. So, what do you think? Dan Moore do a better job this week? What's going on there?
I think we're going to get him more help this week. We really can't afford to let Myles Garrett do what he did 2 weeks ago. I mean,
well, do you think that help comes from the line, or do you think maybe roll him out a little bit more, roll him away from that side of his side?
One of the things I noticed, first off, trying to roll him away from the side or just design plays to go opposite of Garrett, just with how often they move him around, is going to be kind of a crapshoot. Mm-hmm. What I was thinking was, if you look at that game, their protection against TJ and our protection against Garrett, they did a much better job on TJ because whenever they were chipping him, they were like staying there for a minute to make sure before they slip out. It was a true block and release. What our guys were doing, they would just go up and like brush shoulders with Myles and then take off.
I'm pretty sure they just gave him a high five and then ran off.
Yeah, pretty much. They wanted no part of him. We need them to come. Like, Yeah, we need to see like the Jalen Warren type attitude we saw in camp against a Landon Roberts against him. Go up and give him a good shot before you slip out.
Yeah, come on, man. This is the divisional rivalry. Bring that
In the
nastiness.
toughest division in football, like you can't be soft as a running back in this division. Really, hell, is any position in this division. I mean, hell, even our kickers are out here trying to fight people sometimes. Like, yeah.
All righty. Well, let's keep rolling there. Obviously, we got him to deal with. Denzel Ward.
Ugh.
He says, ugh. Really?
Is he going to give Kitchen or George? Is he going to give him fits, Pickens?
I'm worried he's going to get him frustrated. Like, my biggest worry about Pickens is his maturity. And if he gets a bad start, like this past week, when Tomlin had to, like, pull him off to the side and talk to him because he got called for that first taunting, and, they were stirring it up. Well, just,
Yep.
I worry that Denzel Ward knows he can't cover him, so he's going to try to get in his head.
Oh, get in his head. Yeah, he'll be working him from the first snap.
That's exactly my worry, because like he knows that like one-on-one, now that they're not going to be playing in a damn blizzard, he's going to have some trouble with Pickens. So like, that's what I'd do if I was him. I would just be clowning the dude, trying to get in his head.
Yeah. Well, in the meantime, Pickens just going up over top of him, catching balls all around him, just burning them down the sideline. Whatever.
Hey, I mean, if that's how it works,
that's the best way to shut anybody up, right?
Yeah.
Any coach will tell you, you want to shut them up, go out and do it again. And this time,
you go out there on the field and you make him pay for it. My worry is that he's going to do that a little too far and turn this back into like a wrestling match, like whenever he body slammed the Commanders DB on the interception. Like, instead of going after the ball carrier, a dude just, like, basically suplexes this guy. It's just like, I mean, that was awesome, but what the hell, George?
All right. Any other matchups to watch here?
Well, first of all, I want to go ahead and I want to expand on that. Okay. I don't think we really got to worry about Denzel Ward, first and foremost, because George is probably going to be up against Newsome the majority of the game. I think there's still an axe to grind on whatever we seen in the last play of the game, the last time we met each other. There's something still brewing there. And you know what, quite honestly, I don't want George to grow up. I want him to continue being who he is. He's not a distraction to this team. He's not an AB. He's not a Deontay Johnson. He wants to shoot his finger and give us 15. Go ahead. He wants to lay a ball down on somebody's chest. Go ahead. I want to see that because you know what? I'm so tired of this candy-ass football we play in today's age. You want to give me 15 yards? Give me 15 yards because you know what? I'm going to go back out there. I'm going to get 30 yards back and just throw that in your face because I didn't see Jack Lambert going ahead and giving two hands to pick somebody up. I seen him putting a foot in somebody's ass. That's what I want to continue seeing George do, and I believe he's going to go ahead and do it. So, George, don't grow up. And whatever you do, don't talk to Chad Ochocinco about any kind of advice. Kids, you're doing just great.
Yeah, stay away from that dude.
Yeah.
Dion. And don't put any markers in your socks either.
Oh, yeah. And,
that never ends well. Yeah, I agree, man. You know what? Screw it. The best way to make them even, like, talk about getting in somebody's head, just keep catching balls and keep jabbing it back and showing by example and leading by example. And this could be a fun game to watch. If this offense has found a new gear, I'm excited to see it put to the test in this game.
Because what I really want to see, I want to see JP walk away with 200 yards. You know the kid has it in him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be nice. Nice breakout game.
And there's no reason why he can't be up there in the ranks of John Jefferson or a cat that we just played in Cincinnati named Chase. He's got that kind of talent.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah, don't worry. He's gonna put up 200 yards this week. He's going big.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I swear you say somebody's putting up 200 yards, 400 yards, just some absurd stat every week, though.
I always say that to mess with you, man.
No, I think he's going to go over 100 this week.
Okay, fine. Over
it's
100.
Either he's going to go, like, it's 50-50. It's either he's going over 100 or he's getting ejected in the first quarter for fighting Newsom.
Hey, man. One of those penalties does not count towards that the threshold to be ejected, so it's all good. Don't worry. Just a few penalties.
JT, you trimmed your nose hairs.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
Well, I thought we were showing nose hairs, so I had to adjust my camera there.
Doing a fine job. Look, now you're born hijacker.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Freight train's not even here. We've gone off the rails.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
There
He's getting up
go.
in there.
There we go. Some there. Oh man. Hey, we gotta have some fun here. Where were we? Keys to victory.
Don't do what we did last time.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Oh, don't do that. Shouldn't have done it. That's pretty much it, man. I mean, yeah. This is going to be a whole different ball game, though, fellas. I think so.
Yeah, no blizzard.
Yeah, no blizzard. It's going to be fair weather in Acrisure with the black and gold and the towels and the renegade and an attitude to get some revenge.
It's revenge week.
Yeah, it's revenge week.
Really shouldn't have to be, but I will take
it. You know what? I think, coming off the Ravens game and then, oh man, that was just brutal. It was just beautiful. Yeah, both the Ravens and the Steelers coming off that. That's tough.
Yeah.
Well, this time the Broncos coming off of Monday Night Football, so we actually get an extra day.
That's true.
Yep. Don't worry. Tomlin's ready.
What do you call it? A mini buy.
Yep.
Mini buy. All righty. So we ready for predictions, or TA? You want to give us our your keys to victory?
Keys to victory? Keys to victory? Look.
Playoffs?
Look. The key to victory is we've got 4 edge rushers. The Browns have given up the most sacks, 50 this season. I cannot see why each one of those edge rushers do not at least clock 2 sacks apiece for a total of 8. The other thing is, Jameis Winston, he is a gunslinger. He is a threat. He can run. He does have an arm. But the one thing, even in Denver, when you go ahead and make that kid feel uncomfortable, he is going to turn the ball over every time. We let him have fun the first time we played him. It was Cleveland. It was snowing. I was a little kid from Florida playing in the snow. And look, Mommy, Santa Claus came. And we gave him a gift. Ain't happening again. Najee is not eating any banana pudding. It's time for him to go ahead and spank out another 100 yards. And most importantly, what I really, really want to see, I want to see Russ continue to spread the ball around. And instead of 10 different receivers this week, I want to see him go 11 receivers this week and bring in Mike Williams into the fold. It's time to unleash it and get this where we need to be. And Boz, you know what I want to see from you, my MVP? My friend, I want you to just sit on the sideline. Matter of fact, we score a touchdown, go for 2. I don't even want Boz out there on the field. Let him kick back, put a little heater beside him, give him a couple donuts and a hot dog. Hell, give him a margarita. The guy's deserved it this year.
Yeah, give the man a week off.
Win this game.
I don't think he's getting a week off, unfortunately. Boz never gets a week off.
He doesn't, but he deserves it.
Yeah. Kickers carried the damn team.
Oh, and then you want my score? I am going to go ahead. I really like what we did last week. And there's a part of me that says we can do this, but there's a part of me that also said Tomlin's not going to do it. We're going to play our conservative approach, play not to win. No need to get into a shootout. Let's just control the ball. Both lines of scrimmage. Do not live in our fears for a whopping total of 28. Nope. Make that 30-17.
Wow.
Because there's going to be a defensive touchdown.
What is that? And a picture.
He's
Couple
getting
of
a
them.
picture of Winston's turnover. Ready
All
for
right.
him.
I got logged in.
yeah.
My keyboard's way over here. All right, Kit, you're up, man.
All right. Well, that's almost exactly what I have. 30-16.
Yes.
Yeah, I also think we're getting a defensive touchdown because Jameis is always serving them up. And yeah, I think we get enough pressure to, get the job done.
All right. I'm with you on the Steelers too. I'm taking them 28-24. Think the Browns score last ditch touchdown, but fall short. Steelers take it home, 28 plus points. So no, I don't think they cover.
No.
Maybe they do. Maybe they
I
don't.
don't think so. I'll by 4 points. It's
Not
6.5.
today.
So no. Go ahead, Hijacker. You're up next, man.
Yep, I also got us 27-14. I think we're gonna, have a good lead. Winston's gonna have a few mistakes, whether that's throwing it to TJ Watt and he returns it for a touchdown, or he fumbles it. But we're gonna get a defensive score, like you said, and Russ will do enough to win.
Can we get another one of those famous Watt jump up at the line and intercept it, mug the guy that was just trying to block you,
And run it in?
He's done that to Joe Burrow like twice now.
Yep, let's see it.
All righty. And we got DJ, 35-21 Steelers. Anybody else? Where's Mean Green? Did I see I saw King in here too.
Yeah.
King got a prediction, man. Let's get our scores in. We'll come back to see how you guys did. So DJ took the Steelers too. Steelers. So it's unanimous. Yeah, this game's in the books. And we continue to lead the AFC North. Primetime Kitchen continues. Can't wait to see Hard Knocks Volume 2.
They're going to get some real good stuff this week.
Yeah, this could be, this will definitely be heated. There should be some better audio, better video of this one this week, too. Although, there was some pretty good, cool shots that they had on the Blizzard Bowl there. That was pretty cool. That was enjoyable. All right, boys. Anything else?
right.
Last minute thoughts before we say goodnight?
No, I think that about covered it.
Yep. Good night. I'm ready to kill the Browns this Sunday.
Well, let's not go around clubbing people now. We're not Myles Garrett.
Awesome. My bad.
Oh, hijacker. Adios, amigos.
That's it, man. Steelers Nation, thanks for tuning in, guys. Careful in the hot tub. We'll see you next time. We're out of here.
Check back next week into the Steelers realm.